2023 from Adaba 8.9 FM. This is a program where we discuss topical issues, and especially as the country approaches the 2023 presidential election, we now discuss issues pertaining to that election. But before we go on, let me quickly apologize that you might have to forgive my voice this morning. The quality of my voice is kind of bad. There's nothing we can do about that. The show has got to go on. This morning we'll pick on another very interesting topic that affects Nigeria as a people, and of course that will definitely influence the forthcoming general election to be held in February and March. My name is Olabisi Olani Oluwasegun. It's no more news that right now Nigerians have groaning and complaining and grumbling about the scarcity of Naira, which of course has caused the untold hardship on so many people. This is due to the fact that there have been scarcity of the Naira, majorly because according to the CBN, there is shortage of the Naira in circulation. Nigerians are not finding this funny. The governors across Nigeria as well lent a voice to this cause, and this culminated in a court injunction that was yesterday laid to rest after the Supreme Court pronounced, or let's say mandated, that this deadline, the new deadline that was set by the CBN, be put on hold temporarily pending the hearing of the main suit. 3 states were involved in this suit. That's Zamfara State, Kaduna State, and Kogi State. They filed this suit against the Central Bank of Nigeria and the federal government, restraining both parties from withdrawing old Naira notes so Nigerians do not continue to suffer for no just cause. Anyways, after this was announced yesterday, the Attorney General of the Federation came out to challenge the ruling of the Supreme Court. He said that the Supreme Court has no jurisdiction, has no credibility to hear that case. Now we're going to be looking at the issues surrounding this matter and how it could affect the 2023 general election that we are preparing for, that would happen in less than 3 weeks. Once again, I say good morning, and I have my studio guests ready to dissect and talk about this issue with me. I have Mr. Lawal Pav, who is the APC youth leader in Southwest. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here this morning.
I also have Mr. Oni Olalekon, who is from the City Boy group. He's here also to speak to some of these issues. Good morning, and thank you for coming.
Good morning, and thank you for having me once again here.
Okay, we'll be joined by Barrister Femi Omoshua, who is a legal practitioner, and Barrister Tolu Babale would also join us live from Abuja to get a legal perspective to this issue. Once again, I say good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Here we stand as a people with one song, with one voice.
All right, welcome back. Let's start with yesterday's announcement. The ruling by the Supreme Court regarding the deadline set by the Central Bank of Nigeria for the mop-up of old Naira notes took a lot of people by surprise anyways. But as a person, as a member of the party of APC, how did you react to this? What was your first reaction to that announcement?
Well, when I heard the Supreme Court judgment, personally I was very happy because it's a very good one for Nigerians, and this is a sort of relief for Nigerians and even party members, party leaders, and for the forthcoming elections. I believe that it will bring some sort of succor to Nigerians because we can now spend our old Naira notes alongside the new Naira notes. I also thought about it, like if for the sufferings of Nigerians, which I am one of them, it will bring some sort of relief. If you check what is happening around town, in fact, it's already leading to protests around the country, where people are protesting that about this Naira swap and all of that. If you check banks, if you check ATMs, POS has become a nightmare, and I believe that the Supreme Court ruling we put a stop to that, and then Nigerians will live a normal life again.
Okay. All right, so let's take the view of Mr. Lawal Paf on this, because the CBN announced earlier that the reason it first came up with that plan, with that policy, is to reduce counterfeiting, to reduce terrorism funding, and to boost the economy. Do you think that this ruling would not contradict the set objective of CBN in the first place?
Yes, yesterday's judgment has further rekindled the hope of a common now, that the judiciary is the last hope of a common Nigerian. And yes, it's a victory for all Nigerians, and to some of us who felt that an injury to one is an injury to all of us, irrespective of we are first Nigerians before our affiliations with any political party. Yes, it's that for instance, in the UK presently, they change their currencies from the old Mama Shade to the present
which is there to take off.
Yes, and the hardship there, if you still take the old Naira note, I think they gave them 6 month period for the swap of the old pound sterling to the new pound sterling, and businesses have been going on smoothly. Economy has been booming. If you take a holistic look at the reasons Emefiele as a judge for this unnecessary pains he had decided to inflict on Nigerians, you will see that it's not justifiable under any circumstances. He said terrorism. He has laid emphasis on election stuff that money bags politicians will not be able to have a field day. But if you look at it holistically, Emefiele is not the chief of army staff that has been saddled with these responsibilities. Yes, you can see our men on the field; they are doing very well to combat this terrorism. If you listen, I listened to Comrade Adams Oshomole a few days ago. Emefiele is not saddling with conduct of election. He should leave that responsibility solely to the INEC. And INEC, over the times, they have improved adequately on the electoral processes. Yes, in the last election, there was nothing like beavers. To a reasonable extent, introduction of beavers has further sanitized the system of electoral system. So if you take a holistic look at the instances Emefiele has given, you will discover that it is, I want to consider it as a personal benefit to Emefiele. I don't, because sincerely speaking,
personal battle.
Maybe personal battle or thereabout. Sincerely speaking, looking at it, you will discover that it's, as a country, we are not, honestly, in the past few days has been difficult. It has been a very difficult situation.
You think
it has been a, you see, we see our mothers weeping, crying, children crying. Honestly, it has never been as bad as this. And in these few days, Emefiele has tried as much as possible to drag in more even our party and the government of President Muhammadu Buhari.
We will get to that, but let's take the view of Barrister Moshiwa. You are a legal practitioner, and the Supreme Court yesterday ruled in favor of a suit filed by 3 states, like we rightly said. Do you think that was justice served, or you expected something different?
Thank you very much. By the provision of the law and by the creation of laws were made for human beings, not human beings for law. And when you make law, you make it for the conduct of the day-to-day activity of man. I want to believe what the governors have been done within the purview of law. By going to court, looking at the exigency, looking at time. We have election in our hands. We have quite a lot to do. Even the people that are saddled with the responsibility of even carrying out assignment of the umpire, I mean the INEC, they went to the extent of saying that even some of the people that they don't use transfer, they use money, they use cash. So I want to believe the Supreme Court has done what is just and what is right. Because when you look at even some judgments that are being dished out, even right from the echelon of justice, even to the bottom, you discover that when it has to do with public interest, nobody stops it. So it is laughable for us to begin to imagine or to even see the Attorney General of the Federation, who belong to the same party, asking contrary. In fact, we have never, in the history of Nigeria, we have never seen an Attorney General as
being partisan.
Terrible as this. Like, permit me to use this language with due respect. We have never seen an Attorney General that will not first put the law. Look at the scale of justice. How does it look like, and where does it, go to? How will this thing affect common man? Every policy that is being carried out by every government that does not have human face is bound to fail. And what Emefiele has done, just like what Paf said here, I want to believe Emefiele has decided with some few elements in Nigeria that Nigeria is at their hand and they can use Nigeria to play ball. Okay. And I know God Almighty will not permit them.
Okay, in the wake of this whole controversy, I'm with you now, Mr. Onialalekon. In the wake of this Naira scarcity drama that we've been encountering in Nigeria, the APC came out precisely in Ogun, in Abeokuta, Ogun State, where your party's presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, came out to say categorically that there are some people within the presidency who are working against his emergence as the next president, maybe. Now, do you think that there is the possibility that there will be some people within the same party, within the same cabinet, working against the success of your party's presidential candidate?
Yeah, when you talk about this, for me, it's about interest. And Governor El-Rufai clarified this, and in fact, it was the first. What Asiwaju said in Abeokuta was that even if you hide fuel, even if you hide Naira, we will go to the ballot, we will vote, and we will win.
What does that signal?
Now, El-Rufai went further to say that there are some people within the presidency, within the villa, that is working against APC to win the election. And if you look at it, it went further, and even after that, some people have come out to mention some names and all of that. My own perception is that I will strongly believe that even if you look at these people, they are really not APC flesh and blood. They are in the villa, but they are not APC. From the office, from what we have, from the background, names that have been mentioned and all of that. In fact, El-Rufai had to come out again to clear it that the vice president is not one of the, because people were speculating that in the presidency to be the vice president because he contested against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all of that. So El-Rufai had to come out and say no, the vice president is not one of them. And some days ago, somebody came out to say that there's this young boy in the villa, Tunde Sabi, who is the personal assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari, that was the one working and all of that. And from what we have around, we see that Emefiele too has been adding his own to that and all of that. But I must say that Asiwaju is a great leader. Why do I say so? He was always ahead of his detractors, either from the opposition or from within the party. We saw the games that went on through the primaries, before the primaries and all of that. And after all the games and all of that, Asiwaju emerged as the standard flag bearer of the APC. I also believe that even this time around will not be different. Whatever games anybody is playing, either within the party or within the opposition, Asiwaju will come victorious.
Why do you think there is so much noise about the candidature of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? He's not the only presidential candidate that Nigeria is presenting at the moment across all political parties, but it seems to be the one who has gotten the most criticism so far. What do you think is responsible for this? Because
he's the leading candidate. It's simple that if you want to, everybody sees that. Dele Momodu said something like 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago. He said if Asiwaju, the video is online, if Asiwaju should get the ticket of the APC as the standard flag bearer, that will be very, very difficult to stop him.
Okay, let's rest that for now. Mr. Lawal Pav, you're also a member of the party and you're a member of your party's neck as well. Do you think that this Naira scarcity running simultaneously with fuel scarcity almost at the same time is one of the ploys being used against your presidential candidates? And for what reasons?
Yes, it is. I don't want to believe it's against our presidential candidate now, but against Nigerians. Because some of us, yes, we decided to pitch our tent with a political party because of our ideologies and the rest. But we take Nigeria first before any other thing. And come to look at it. Yes, we have simultaneously in this country, we have had election in 2019. Even in the dark days of the PDP, it was not as bad, terribly as this. Yes, at the same time, it's a plot against Asiwaju because Asiwaju is a light. These cabals, these individuals, understand the fact that this man will definitely turn things around. So they want to do everything humanly possible to frustrate this ambition, this man that is coming to save us from this, to deliver us from this present quagmire that we must have found ourselves. And come to think of it, I don't want to believe that the vice president is with us, honestly, because in 2019, the vice president, yes, the vice president is not part of the people that are working against the success of the All Progressives Congress and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because in 2019, the vice president was moving from state to state, from local government to campaign for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. Why has that stopped? Why has that suddenly stopped, come to an end? Yes. Why has that suddenly come to an end? And whoever that is trying to
So are you now insinuating?
I am not insinuating. It is everywhere. Yes. The vice president is our own from the southwest. It's one of our revered leader in the party. But they must justify. Asiwaju was working day and night to make sure that the 2015 election was a success. He did that, and in 2019 he did the same thing. So, and I think this is the best time to equally appreciate this man via going out to talk, engaging people, to talk to people. They are opinion leaders that when they talk, hundreds of people will follow. Okay. I want to Professor Oshibajo is our own from the southwest. Yes, and he must justify that. We stood by him in 2015. We stood by him in 2019, and I think this is the best time to repay the southwestern part of this country back with its maximum support.
Okay, that is before we go ahead to other issues, let me quickly take the submission of Barrister Moshua on this issue. There have been a lot of accusations and counter accusations. Some people, the PDP at one time said it was the APC that was orchestrating the sufferings the Nigerians are going through at the moment. The APC at some point said the PDP, specifically speaking, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said the PDP, some members of the PDP are working together with some members within the APC to frustrate this ambition. How do you perceive this?
Just like what Paf said, there are laid down plans, and they are not just one. They are in phases, and when one is exhausted, they are ready to move to another. And if you say some group of people are working within the opposition with APC to frustrate the ambition of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it is no longer new. Because by the time you even look at even the body language of the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you discover that this is not the normal campaign. It's as if to thy tent, O Israel. This is a man who is bringing out some policies even at the tail end of his term. These are policies that he could not bring out even in 2019. And
when he was seeking re-election.
You cannot change Naira during 2019. There was no fuel scarcity during 2019. To now talk about Professor Yemi Oshibajo, it is quite unfortunate that what we have been experiencing, even in our enclave, is still repeating itself. This is a man who was not even let me say, even I want to believe he was not even a card-carrying member of this party when he was called to come and become the vice president. And I know how tedious it is for somebody to contest election in Nigeria, even for position of councillor. You came from nowhere, you became vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and through whose nomination? These are facts that are in the domain. It's not as if somebody will just come and controvert it. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said he was asked to bring 3 people's names. He nominated just this man, one name. He said because somebody can add to it or somebody can remove from it. And it is this man's time. And when I say there are plans, the people that they are talking about in the villa, these people, they used the vice president as a demo. The man thought he was going to be picked. Let me tell you this fundamental truth today. If Professor Yemi Osibajo has emerged, if he had emerged the flag bearer of APC, by now it will have been a walkover even for the PDP candidate. How will he have been able to withstand all these hits? And let me tell you, they said as event unfolds, experience becomes self-defense. What experience does he have in politics?
Do you think if the APC had picked or had elected, voted the vice president as its candidate at the primaries, do you think it would still go through the same ordeal?
What are you telling me? Do you know what it means for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to even emerge? Having emerged, that is, even if they had even allowed him, if the likes of Amechi had not even snatched it from him, and if he eventually emerged, what is the end product? President of Nigeria. And that is what we will have been working towards. All the hits that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is facing today, this somebody from Kanuri, Christian this, so this, it will have, in fact, it will have been a walkover.
It's been a tough game so far.
A tough one
for the APC.
Because I said there are plans.
There are 2 issues involved, Mr. Oni. The first is the fact that Nigerians are complaining, supposedly, about some of the policies that have been put in place by this government. That is one issue on one hand. On the other hand, there are a lot of things that a section of the country have been using as their point of criticism against the person of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. One, we have the issue of age, which a lot of people have been saying is old. Some people say he's not even fit, he's not healthy enough to run the affairs of the country. Some say he's not competent enough. Do you think that these issues put together would not affect the chances of your party at the polls?
Not at all, but let me quickly say something about this VP issue. There are 2 sides to a campaign, you know. Let me remind us that towards the primary election, people were saying that some people who Asiwaju has helped are not coming out in the open to support Asiwaju, e.g. Fashola. If you look at it before the campaign,
before the primary election,
you find out that Fashola was not coming forth. I think it was after the campaign. In fact, recently that was just coming out. Same thing goes to the VP presently. If you look at it, there was a question that was raised, an eyebrow was raised when the PCC list was released back then, that why is Osibajo not included in the PCC list? All other government functions that were included, and APC came out to say that the president decided that the VP and the current SGF should face governance since the president is on the list. So I'm saying that there are 2 sides to it. If Fashola didn't come out before the primary and now he's out, it is very possible also that Osibajo is working from the background, which is very, very, very possible. It is not compulsory that Osibajo has to be at every campaign ground to campaign for Asiwaju. There are other people in this government also who are APC stalwarts who have not been seen on the campaign ground as well. So I believe that Osibajo is still our man till tomorrow and working from the background. You asked about the age of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
And his health status.
You said, and his health status. This age thing has been put to bed, if you ask me. What is expected of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do during this campaign is doing it very well. I can tell you that Asiwaju Bola
Like what and what?
He's been going around before the primaries, after the primaries. He has run the most rigorous campaign so far among all the other presidential candidates. There are times that you see Asiwaju in 7 states within 5 days. What is that not physical fitness? He goes, if he comes to Ondo, for example, he holds meetings before he goes to the campaign ground. He goes to the campaign ground. After that, he holds meetings till midnight. And the following day again, you see him elsewhere. You see him in meetings in different fora. So if people are saying about age status, this thing,
is that enough proof that he's fit enough to rule the
country? Sorry, what is fitness? If you can be up to task,
strength.
If you have strength, if you can attend meetings. When you become a president, you are not doing concrete work. You are not going to be carrying cement. You are not going to be carrying blocks. What the president does is to have series of meetings, and make decisions and all of that. And that's what he has been doing. In fact, I believe that when he becomes the president, he won't be having this kind of, traveling around the country when he becomes the president. So that's a sign that somebody who can attend to his tasks, itineraries, and very tight schedules, and he has not been falling short of that. So when people talk about physical fitness, I ask, what else do you expect from him that he is not doing?
Okay, Mr. Lawal, what's your take on that?
Yes, to start with the issue of the vice president, anything that is worth doing, I thought is worth doing well. Yes, by the virtue of my position, I was opportune to the pre-primary and post-primary. Fashola was everywhere for Asiwaju Bola.
Oh, yes.
Yes, by virtue of my position. Yes.
Maybe not in the media, right?
That is to that. Whether in the media or outside media or anywhere, he has been there for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, because in one of the engagements, when he was talking to us, he made us understand some things about this man called Asiwaju. He said they have been together for almost 40 years or thereabout now. Yes, back to his said status. I have met Asiwaju Bola Tinubu twice this year. And in those times, I think the earliest time, one of those times was, I think, around past 2
a.m. or p.m.
a.m.
Okay.
Yes, the other one was, I think, around 4 a.m. So I don't know how often this man sleeps. Honestly, I have asked myself, because personally, I don't joke. As young as I am, I don't joke with my sleep. But Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is a workaholic. I am sure that with his experience, exposure, because it is not about pedigree or integrity at the same time. It is about experience and exposure of how you have been able to, over the years, what you have done, what you are doing, and what you have been able to achieve personally in your personal business and governance as a person. All the contestants in this election, all the presidential candidates, Asiwaju have been their benefactor in one way or the other. Yes, I reliably heard the role Asiwaju played when Obi was in tribunal to depose Ngige. Yes, Atiku was nearly thought an outcast in 2007. This man brought him in that, you don't deserve this treatment. So, and I think it is not always good as an individual, as a person, or as a group of people to always be a kind of ingrate. No, honestly, I dislike that with passion. This man has stood for the Nigerians. Even you and I, we have benefited from this man kind gesture. So, and I think as a people, as a Nigerians, there is the only thing we can use to appreciate this man and to compliment the effort of the past president is by voting for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. I am sure
now, the question
this country of Nigeria.
Someone might be asking right now is that enough justification to vote Asiwaju?
No.
The fact that he's been helpful to
I don't mean personal. I don't mean personal.
The fact that he's been helpful to some Nigerians, a section of Nigerians.
Why I said
what about the place of
please hold on. Why I said that? Technically, this road, the road that leads to this place, was not tarred so many years ago. We come to these stations.
Was it tarred by Asiwaju?
Technically, it was by APC government. Asiwaju helped us in the Ondo State to form APC. When he formed APC, yes, that is where we are able to bring about good governance in Ondo State. And technically, you people in Naira FM, you have benefited from that kind of gesture, from the gesture, from the good governance of the All Progressives Congress.
Are you aware that this election is not about Adama?
I know.
It's about organic electorate.
I'm telling you, at our own local level.
I
am telling you that at our own local level, at our own this level in Akure, and this level in the road that leads to Adama FM. Beyond Beyond that, look at Atiku. Yes, Atiku cannot stand anywhere that and be telling people that Asiwaju has not, one way or the other, be part of its history, positive history. So it is not about you and I now. I just use that as an example.
Okay.
Like hundreds and thousands, millions of people like you and I, Asiwaju has impacted directly or indirectly into their lives. And I know, I have the convictions. Nigerians should hold some of us responsible. Yes, if this man did not perform. Me, I am convinced, I am sure that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do well. I look at my career in Ondo State. We have things before now. Let me use last December as an example. We cannot, when it's festive period like this, you will open all of your eyes. But last December, the activities went well. People were able to sleep with their two eyes. Those are things that we are using to campaign to Ondo State. That our government has done this, and we are going to improve on those things to put laugh, smiles on the face of Nigerians.
Okay, Barrister Moshiwa, he said a lot about the personality of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but do you think this is enough to convince Nigerians?
I want to believe far above that. He has just succeeded in making some preambles, but I want to believe what matters most in Nigeria now, the type of person Nigeria needs now. We have never been this divided. We have never had this type of situation where people don't love each other, where people believes that whatever will happen, let it happen. I want to believe, according to Reverend Father Matthew Kuka, he said, this time around in 2023, what Nigeria wants and what Nigeria will get is a unifier, which Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu stands for. And when you look at his pedigree, he has always been unifying Nigeria from all walks of life. He said Nigeria needs a unifier who has a pedigree that can be built on his capability. He has the capability, he has the pedigree, and he has the ability to unify Nigerians. And why am I saying this? And you see, when I say this, what Paf has said is still included in there. Because when you say, who is a unifier? Somebody that you have benefited from in the past, either by speaking same language or by not speaking same language. Or when you talk about somebody who has pedigree, what is pedigree? Somebody, when we're talking about governance, somebody who has governed before, who has shown the way, and people are ready to tow it. Somebody who has mentored people. I think Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done that. And when you look at what Nigeria needs now, especially in this situation we have found ourselves, where everybody is so confused, we don't know where we are going to. We need to move forward, because if we don't know where we are going to, we have to look backward. But Nigeria is not ready to look backward or go backward. We are ready to move forward. And the person that can take us to the El Dorado, the person that can take us to our desired dream, the person that can take us even to where we have always believed that we belong to, especially in the Committee of Nations, is nobody than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay, now
when you look at what happened at Kasham House, rather, please, Chatham House. This man displayed it ordinarily. It made the world to look at what governance is all about. It's not just about wearing the toga of saying, I am the leader, I am the president, I can do everything. He said, I answer 4 questions. The remaining 6 questions, these people are going to govern with me, let them answer. And it has never happened at Chatham House.
Are you aware that Nigerians still criticized him for that?
Because of the fact that they are bereft of ideas.
Okay,
if not for the fact that they are bereft of ideas, somebody is giving you something that has never happened before. Allow him to do it.
Okay, now let's talk about your party's chances, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's chances across the geopolitical zones in Nigeria. He is from the southwest. Do you think he has the required support to mop up block votes from the southwest? That aside, what about his chances up north? A lot of people have been insinuating that the northerners will most likely pitch their tent with their brother, who is also in the race. They are, two of them who are one of the leading candidates in this race, Kwankwaso and Atiku. Now, how would you analyze the chances of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu? Do you think he has a good chance in this election?
All right, let me quickly. The last time I spoke about. I really want to conclude this about Osinbajo supporting Asiwaju. this same February, are you aware that Asiwaju met with the legal team of the Presidential Campaign Council? He met with all of them, and that's the background support I am talking about. The details of the meeting were not revealed, but he actually met with them, and I'm sure that
let's not forget that if whether or not the VP
that's the angle he's supporting from.
Let's not forget
I also understand that
whether or not the VP is with Asiwaju Bola Tinubu,
yes,
it might really not make a lot of significant difference. What I'm asking is, across the nation.
No, I know. I just want. I'll come to that. I'm just trying to buttress my point that from the background. The VP is actually supporting Asiwaju. Okay, geopolitical zones. Let's look at it. One of the reasons why I know that from all the geopolitical zones, Asiwaju will get massive support is because he has been supporting Southeast, Southwest. Yeah, the Southeast, he might not get the bloc vote because if you look at figures from past elections, you see how APC has been faring. But I can tell you for free from the Southeast, we will get better support this time around. And then if you look at other geopolitical zones, that's where I'm going. Asiwaju has been a supporter of men across Nigeria, not just Southwest, not just the Fasholas. If you look at, like he perhaps said the other time, even Obi, Atiku, all of them, and people we might even not know. Asiwaju has supported people, and that's why if you
unfortunately the ones you're mentioning now, the names you're mentioning, Obi, Atiku, they're also in the race and they have their supporters as well.
I'm trying to say that the reason why Asiwaju will get support from other geopolitical zones is because all these people, one way or the other, has been supported by Asiwaju in the past, and that's what he said in Abeokuta before the primaries, that I've supported this man, I've supported this person, I've supported this person, and it is time. I think Bagudu, one of the governors, mentioned something like that Asiwaju has helped them. Ayade mentioned it. I don't know if you saw that video. Ayade said that even while he was in the opposition, he had a problem sometimes ago. He ran to Asiwaju helped him. He said it at that meeting that even sometimes ago, he had another issue. Asiwaju came out to help him. That this is the time for Asiwaju, for all of us. He was talking at that meeting that for all of us to support Asiwaju and ensure that he becomes the president of Nigeria. And other people from other places, the leader of the House, the majority leader of the House of Representatives, came out sometimes ago on the floor of the House and said that Asiwaju has helped him in the past. And this is the time for everybody to go back to their constituencies and support Asiwaju. And in different places across all the geopolitical zones, you will find a testimony about Asiwaju having done this and having done that. And beyond that, Asiwaju has a robust plan for Nigerians. The young people of Nigerians, nobody has that such plan to help them, to help Nigerians. If you look at people, I like talking about Asiwaju and the youth, because if you look at the demography of voters, you have those people in the age bracket of 18 to 35 who has the bulk of the votes, and that which spreads across the country. When people want to talk about Asiwaju has helped Fashola, a lot of names, Akabueze, Aregbesola, Oshibajo, and all of them. And if you look at the age they were when Asiwaju raised them, they were young people. BRF came into Asiwaju's cabinet at the age of 36. Sanwo-Olu, Oshibajo, Aregbesola, and a host of them. And this is what Asiwaju is coming to do for the young people of Nigerians.
Now, Mr. Paf, campaign is ongoing now and it's getting more intense because we're only counting days to the election now. Do you think your party's presidential candidate has a good chance across the geopolitical zones of Nigeria, especially in the north?
Yes. The north, the southwest, let me start from the southwest, is the bedrock of the intellects in this country. And every other zones understand that. And especially the northwest.
There are intellects across Nigeria.
I said the bedrock.
Okay.
There are intellects across the country. The northwest is the home, the second home of the progressives, because we always lay claim to that from the southwest extraction. Going to the north, in short, this election they sweet my belly in Wike's voice.
It suit your belly.
They suit my belly.
How so? How is this suiting your belly?
Let me tell you, for the first time in the history of progressive in this country, we have two governors from the south. It has never happened. sorry, we have one governor from the South and two governors from the Southeast. It has never happened. It's everything is just working for the All Progressives Congress and our candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It has never happened. Judging from 2015, 2019 until date, honestly, it's.
You have one governor. No. Let me. I need clarity on what you said. You have one governor from the South,
yes,
and two governors from the Southeast.
Yes, it has never happened. We were going to win. Those people that are shouting, one candidate from the Southeast. You will see what will happen. We are going to defeat them in the South. You know what? Our victory is going to cut across all the geopolitical zones in this country. It has never. You will see that it is when that you will see that it is in most cases candidates wins elections for their political party. It is when that it is that time that you are going to see the how powerful, how as the level of acceptability of our own candidate.
Are you not scared, or are you not worried that the North could jump ship?
Not our brother. Let me tell you,
11th hour.
My best friend today, as we speak today, my best friend is from the North. He's a Fulani man. We have been together now. For so many years, and I this year alone I have been to the Northwest 3 times, and I know they're getting commoners there. They are grateful people. They are not ingrates like some of our people here from Southwest extraction. They said what Asiwaju has done for them, it's marvelous in their sight, and they want to repay him back. So, and I say our people, I challenge our people. I am a freeborn of Owo. I am a local man. Yes, I have been preaching this to my people, and my people Asiwaju is well accepted. Now we have been. If you are following us, our activities in Ondo State, for instance, we have been harvesting people on daily basis. And that will further reinforce our support base. And come to think of it, in the Southeast before, these beavers will checkmate so many things, honestly, and it's going to be today because in the progress we don't rig votes, we don't rig election. Some people brought election rigging to our system, and technically on daily basis they are fizzling out. And this 2023 we further put an end to their shenanigans, to the evil practice they brought into the electoral system of this country. And honestly, Atiku is not a match. Obi is not a match.
Okay, I heard you, Barrister Mashua. I've heard from 2 members of the party, in fact, who belong to the team Asiwaju, Bat Shetima and Bat. Right now, let's talk about the criticism of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu that have been coming to the fore lately against government policies. For instance, the Naira scarcity. He criticized it heavily, even if not heavily, but at least he stylishly criticized it. The fuel scarcity, he did the same thing. Don't you think that this could signal some sort of opposition to the Northerners, who, of course, are the brothers of the sitting president, Muhammadu Buhari, and could mean that they might withdraw their support for Asiwaju in the long run? Well, this affects his chances.
I want to appreciate the professional language you used before now by saying the 2 gentlemen here, they are in the mainstream. Though I'm a member of APC, but the way they are inside is more than the way I am. I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer.
But
we know you to be a lawyer first.
I would say we are looking at these people's back end much more than the way they are looking at our home. And by the way we are looking at their home, we are still looking at PDP and other parties' home. But by and large, I've never been very comfortable with a success that does not have any string or any stringent stringent opposition attached to it. And politics is full of intrigues. It is full of suspense. It is full of unexpected. With all this that is happening to the candidacy of APC, I think I am enjoying it, and it's giving me a respite that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coasting very, very fast to victory. Why did I say so? I said there has been division before. We have never been this divided in Nigeria. And by the time you look at another division, which is not like this division that I'm talking about, the Northerners that we are even afraid of are divided now. The way they have never been so divided, they are divided educationally, politically. They are divided even by reasoning. before they will say, whenever you want to do any election, when it is 11th hour, that is where somebody tells them what to do. No. Now you have a Kanuri man from the northern extraction who is part of his parents, they are Fulani, that is deputizing for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you still have some other stakeholders, especially the governors, the governors of the northern part of Nigeria who are from the APC, who decided in their wisdom that Nigeria first, not APDP or APC first. Nigeria first. If Nigeria must survive, we don't have anything to share in zero. If Nigeria goes down today, nobody will talk about APC or PDP. Let Nigeria remain first. And these people said power should go to the south. You want to tell me, you don't want to tell me that these people will fold their arms and they will not make sure that they win their kitty. They will not win their state for their own party. When people have already seen them as one of the leaders, they will not want to say because of one sentiment of religion, one sentiment of language. When you are already a lieutenant in a party, somebody will now take you to be a recruit or corporal in another party.
Because of our time.
So,
now,
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has every propensity to win this election. It's gaining support and it's gaining popularity.
Some people believe that one of the political tools of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is vote buying. Like, he's a money bag. He has a lot of money to throw around. Is this true?
No. The political tool of Asiwaju is experience. He has been tested. He will form a very good team. And like I said earlier, Asiwaju has supported a lot of people in the past. And it is time for those people to come out and help him as well. He doesn't use. Look at Ondo. Asiwaju has helped Ajasin, Mimiko, and all over the place. And these people, one way or the other.
Did you say Ajasin?
Yes, sir. Then he was with his support. He was while Mimiko and Baba Ajasin, or at the other time, Mimiko, Asiwaju helped him. When he had a court case then, it is on record that part of Asiwaju's support was what made him won the court case. Sorry, I mean Mimiko. I want to mention Mimiko. Sorry,
I was going to clarify because
maybe he's trying to mix them.
No.
Still on this issue of food buying.
Yes.
Nigerians have gotten used to the convention. It's now a convention that the one who brings the most money gets the most votes. Is Asiwaju going to be buying votes on
No. The strength of Asiwaju lies on the people.
He has supported in the past.
On those people that believe so much in him. Some of us.
Are these people who talk about 100% with Asiwaju?
1,001% with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Asiwaju is pro people. Look at the way he's. He didn't even. That's why the fact that his party, his own political party, is in there. The reason
I asked that question, hold on, madam. No. The reason I asked that question is because in the wake of the Naira Scarcity saga. A lot of people pointed fingers at Tinubu. It was said that policy was targeted.
Did you listen to his speech yesterday? If you see the way he was happy for that judgment,
Supreme Court judgment in Kogi.
Honestly, this man he has been a pro people over the years. Go to Enugu State. Look at what Nnamani is doing there. That's why the fact that he said he believes in this man. He knows that it will take Nigeria to an Eldorado. So, and some of us too, we are passionate, particular about. I want to stand in BBC and compare Nigeria side by side with the United States of America. I want to stand in BBC and compare and CNN and compare Nigeria side by side with the United Kingdom. And we can do it, and we can do it better because we have those potentials. I put it to you, people that are supporting Asiwaju, most of them has been with him in the past 40 years. Ask those people, ask Atiku, ask him, his political allies in the past 20 years. Are they still with him? You will know that you will compare and contrast these people. Asiwaju is the best. Give it to him. And
are you stylishly talking about his resilience and commitment to growth? What's
yes, development. Look at the crops of guys that are
and
look at even the vice president. Yes, he engaged him as a young lawyer, and today, by the grace of God, is the vice president of Federal Republic.
Okay, we have Barrister Tolu Babale on the line. Good morning, Barrister Babale. Thank you.
Good morning, the people of Ondo State.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, have you been following the conversation, Barrister?
Yes, of course, I've been following from the beginning.
Okay, so first off, what's your reaction to yesterday's ruling at the Supreme Court?
Mm, my reaction is that for the upcoming time, the Supreme Court has intervened to save Nigeria from total collapse. It has always done that. So I was not surprised yesterday when the Supreme Court gave that ruling, even though it was a ruling based on ex parte application, which means that no party has been had. All the parties have been told to file their papers, and by 15th, the court will determine whether it actually has jurisdiction by virtue. I mean, looking at Section 251, Subsection 1 of 1999 Constitution, they created the Federal High Court, and which gave Federal High Court exclusive jurisdiction over issuance of currency. And looking at Section 232(1) of the Constitution, that gives Supreme Court jurisdiction, exclusive jurisdiction over dispute between two states or between a state and federal government. And this the Section 1 and 2 of the CBN Act of 2004. When you look at these three laws, there seems to be conflict, because if you advance your mind to Section 251 of the 1999 Constitution, you will say it is only Federal High Court that has jurisdiction, that has jurisdiction over issuance of currency. If you look at Section 232 of the Constitution, you will say it is Supreme Court has jurisdiction. And if you look at Section 1 and 2 of the CBN Act, CBN is regarded as an independent organization. And when you look at the case of yesterday, CBN is not a party. It is just between the three states, Kaduna, Zamfara, and Kogi versus the federal government. But when you apply the principle of agency-principal relationship, it is binding on the CBN. So, head of state, the Supreme Court has assisted Nigeria by making us to come back to the basis.
Okay.
That is my opinion about it.
Okay, now the AGF, shortly after the ruling was made, the Attorney General of the Federation asked the Supreme Court to dismiss that suit. Do you think it has a chance?
Well, that is what I'm saying. You see, I've just stipulated the conflicting laws. The Attorney General is coming from the background of Section 251, Subsection 1D of the 1999 Constitution that confers exclusive jurisdiction on the Federal High Court when it comes to issuance of currency. But to me, it is very wrong when you look at Section 232, because the case is purely between three states versus federal government. And when there is an issue between federal government and the states, Supreme Court has original jurisdiction, exclusive and original jurisdiction to preside over it.
Okay.
So, head of the Supreme Court will determine whether it has jurisdiction or not. But as it is today, Supreme Court has given a ruling, and the ruling stands. Whether it is based on law or whether not based on law, as long as the ruling has been given by the authority of David Moto and Weber Bank, you cannot the moment a decision is given by court, whether the decision is right or wrong, or it is set aside, it is the decision of court.
Okay.
So this means for the Supreme Court, the suffering of Nigerians will have continued. So we are grateful for the Supreme Court for what it has done in the interim.
Okay, thank you.
The Supreme Court will come with a fuller version of whether the government will be sustained or whether it will be discharged.
Okay, so thank you very much, Barrister Vale, for being a part of the program this morning.
You're welcome.
He joins us live from Abuja. Well, that's just to set a proper legal perspective on the matter. Because of our time, you may not really have the chance because of our time. I'm sorry.
Just to make
but
a little submission.
In just few seconds, your parting shot, Mr. Winnie, in few seconds. That will be your last, your final words.
Asiwaju is the best candidate to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, based on experience. He has been tested and is being trusted.
Okay, Mr. Lawal Paf.
Yes, they are all Progressive Congress candidates across board, from the House of Assembly, reps, and senatorial candidates, and the governors, our governorship candidates, and the presidential candidates. All of them are the best set of any candidate that a country of like us, Nigeria, can dream of. Please go out on the election day and vote for them from the House of Assembly.
But you're directly campaigning on my show. Okay, Barrister Moshua.
Yeah, in response to either one party is spending money or not, it is what everybody is doing for now.
Does that make it right? Does that make it right?
CBN is now saying people should not use money. So if PDP is not going to use money, APC will not use money. That means we are getting better. So
we don't even want to delve into that discussion because there are accusations already that some members of the opposition are getting money that other people are not getting.
Yes,
but if we start that discussion, we would not be able to exhaust it on this edition of the show. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the program this morning. Mr. Oniola Lekon, who is from the City Boy Group, it's good to have you on the show. Barrister Femi Omoshua, legal practitioner, thank you for always coming. And Mr. Lawal Path, APC Youth Leader, Southwest.
I'm the Deputy Director for Youth Directorate.
Oh, now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show. My name is Olabisi Olani Oduashegun. Appreciation to Barrister Tolu Babale for also joining us live. Next week, Thursday, will be another time on the program. Good morning and thank you for listening.